Hello friends, welcome to our website etltestingtutorial.com. Today I'm going to discuss the topic that how can we download and install the ETL tool Informatica that I am using within my recorded session. So before jumping on to the download part, let's see what all are the components of Informatica and what all are the prerequisite of the machine before the installation that you must know. Okay, so ETL tool Informatica comes in two parts, that is the Informatica server and the Informatica client. Server and client. And the client utility comes with four more components, that is repository manager, the powercenter designer, the workflow manager and the workflow monitor. Okay, and in the same way we have multiple services that are related to the server, like the repository services, integration services that we link with our Informatica client that we'll use further. Okay, so this is all how our Informatica will look like. These both are linked actually. So now let's start with the download part of Informatica. So you just go to the website edelivery.oracle.com and it will ask you to sign in into the Oracle cloud. This here I'll use the same account, the same username and password that I was using for the download of the Oracle or the SQL developer. Okay, you'll write your username and password. If you don't have your account, you can create. It's totally free of cost. Okay, then I'll click on sign in. And within this we'll get a search panel in which I can write the software that I need, and as I was saying, we need the powercenter Informatica. I'll go for the first one and we'll get this option. I'll select that and it will be added to cart. Then I'll go for the selected software that I have selected. It's this one. Okay, and within this very first thing that we need is the name of the software for sure. After that we need the platform on which we are going to install that. We'll install that software on which machine that we need. Okay, so I'll select this Windows 64-bit according to your system requirement. You can select if you are working on Linux platform or on the Windows platform, you can select. And after selecting the platform, it is giving me the size. It is giving me the idea how much of the files that I'm going to download. Okay, and I'll go for continue, and within this you can read this complete license agreement that is linked with that powercenter Informatica. I'll check this box and continue. And within this is very important. You must know what all are the versions that are available within Informatica and which one of the version I am going to use. If you see, it's around 16 files. 16 files, correct? And within this all of the files are linked with the are corresponding to the different version. Not all, but we have actually 3 versions that are available in the market these days, that is 9.5.1, 9.6.1 and 10.1.0. so these 3 versions will contain around 4 to 5 files each of the version. If I look at, see, the first 4 files till this are linked with 9.5.1, and after that 4 files are with the 9.6.1 version, and after that the rest are with the 10.1.0. so these 3 versions are currently working, and I am going to work with 9.6.1 within my recorded sessions. Okay, so what we need 9.6.1, correct? So we'll uncheck, we'll unselect the rest of the files that we don't need. And if you look at all of the files, it's these files, each of the file is around 2 GBs of file. So 4 files we have, so it will be around 7 GBs of data that we will download corresponding to 9.6.1. and I'll uncheck the rest of the versions that I don't need. These all steps are very important because the files are actually dependent. If by mistake even you made if you select the uh, file of different version, it will make a lot of problem. Okay, so again, just review the files that you are going to download. All are with the version 9.6.1, and I'll go for the this download button. Just select this button now, and again, after this, it's asking to download the installer that could download these files. And I'll go for download that installer that we need, and it will take around 30 seconds to download, and then we'll install this. With the help of this installer file only, we'll able to download these files. Okay, these all steps are related to the downloads. Installation is the thing we'll do later on, and it's done. I'll click once onto this file. I think portion of that is still downloading, and it's ready. I'll click this once, and it is saying, do you want it to execute? I'll say run, and I agree. Next. The installation of the installer. These are not the 4 files. 9.6.1 for Informatica, and it will take some time. Let's wait. And okay, yeah, this is what we need. I'll allow the access. Just log in into your system's account. Done. And after this is again important step. It will ask where you want to download this, where you want to download these files. I'll select the this one, B Priya, and within this I'll make a new folder. I'll say info. Done, and I'll click on OK and close. Correct, this is the one, this is the page that I need. So it is the I'll pause this. Okay, so it's around 4 files that we need, and only 0.3% is done because I have paused that. So what does it mean? It means it will take, it actually depends on the speed of the internet that you are using onto your system. Okay, so after, it will take around 2 to 3 hours for me, to 2 to 3 hours, and I'll show you the files that we'll get after the download of all 4 files. These files you'll get 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4, and 4 of 4. All of these 4 files are actually linked with these 4. All are linked, in short, I could say that, and all are present within the zipped format. Right? So what we'll do next? After the downloading of all of the 4 files, make sure that you will get this 100% complete of this downloading, and after this we'll unzip these all 4 files. I'll select the first one, right click, and make sure that you have this WinRAR onto your system, and I'll go for this extract to this one, this file. So we'll get a folder with the same name, and within this I'll get a file. Okay, we'll discuss later on which type of file we'll get. This is for the 1 of 4, the first file I have started this to unzip the first file. The same way we'll do for the rest of the 3 files. For the third file as well, I'll do the same, and for the 4th file also. So 4 different folders we'll get other than these zipped file folders, within which we'll get the different files. Let's wait for some time. It will take around 4 to 5 minutes to extract. See, all of the 4 files are extracting. We are unzipping all 4 files that we need to install on our system. Okay, and one more thing, from its name only we'll able to see what is the version of file that we are using. We'll see this thing after completing this extraction. Okay, only 2 files are left that is to be extracted. We'll wait some more time. Last few seconds for the conversion, and see the name. It's 1, 3 or 4 that was converting, and we are done. Right, so we are getting 4 folders corresponding to all of these 4 zipped files. Now let's open and let's see what is coming inside that. So within 1 of 4 we are getting this file z01 file. Within 2 of 4 we are getting z02 and z03, and within 404 we are getting again a zipped file. What does it means? It means that we are getting one zipped file that again we can unzip with the same procedure. But what about these 3 files? Actually, these 3 files are something, the files that are dependent on this one. So this zipped file, we can't extract this file without using these 3 files. Okay, so what does it mean? It means that the files that we are getting in first 3 folders are the files with the help of which we can extract the file, the zipped file that we are getting within 4th folder, the 4th file. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll create a new folder and Informatica, within which I'll store all of these files. Control C, within this Control V, and in the same way I'll do for all 4 folders files that we are getting, and this one, and 4th one. So the 4th file is something that we could work with, but we can't work with the 4th zipped file unless we have these 3 files with the help of which only we can extract this. Or I can say that these this zipped file is dependent on these 3 file format that we are getting above. Okay, and from its name only you could see z01, 02, 03. These all are coming in a format that is dependent, that we'll use further on. Okay, so it will take some time, let's wait. Okay, so one file is done, second is also completed, 2 files are left, that is I think the bigger one, 2 of 4 and 3 of 4. It will take a few more seconds and it's done. Right, so all of the 4 files now I am getting, and first 3 files we can't extract, we can't zip these files, unzip these files. We can unzip only this one that is coming within the zipped format. So right click on that and we'll select this option to unzip this file. Okay, a new folder is coming with the same name, and within this now we'll get some more files. That's why I was saying this is this download even, and the installation is quite complex to work with within this. Let's wait, it's showing around 2 minutes left for this. Okay, so unzipping is almost done. It will take few more seconds, 4 seconds, and done. So this is the folder that we are getting after converting this file that is dependent on z01, 02 and 03 files. Right, so within this folder again we are getting some more zipped files. So again we'll unzip these all. So right click on that and we'll go for extract the files. In the same way I'll do the same thing for all of the files. It's quite lengthy process. So 4 folders now. This is the last thing that we need. After this installation will start. 1 and 2. Okay. So from its name I could see it's 961 client. 961 is for 9.6.1 version, and client means the client utility will be included in that, and this is for the 961 server. And if you look at this PPT, this Informatica will come with the Informatica server and the client. So now we are almost reached there. this server and client. So after this, again, a thing that is that can make you quite confused, like server or client, what we need first? Always we need server. So firstly we'll install the server, and then we'll install the client, and then we linked all of these files that we need to work with. Okay, it will take some more time. So last few seconds for the extraction of the files, and after this we'll get the files with which we'll work with the installation steps. And here if you look at, I have created the Word file in which I have taken the screenshot of all of the steps that you'll get during the installation of the server as well as the installation of the clients. And I think it's done. Last, this file is left with the client utility is left, and it took around 15 minutes for me, 15 to 20 minutes. And look at the folders that we are getting. The server, the first utility that we need, within which we have this installation file, this is the batch file that we'll use, and the client file that we'll work with for the installation. And for both of these files, surely these files are interlinked, and the one that we'll use within the installation step is this key. This key, make sure that you know the path where you are installing, where you are converting these files. This is the reason to explain all of these steps. If you miss even a single step, it will create a very big problem while installation of the server utility or the client utility. It's still showing me 30 seconds. We'll wait for 30 more seconds, and it's in progress. Okay, and we are getting the complete files for the client and for the server. So what is the next thing that we need? If you look at this PPT, the very first utility, as I was saying, it's server. So so these are the files that we'll get after extracting the files, after unzipping the files, and this key file is the one that we'll use within the installation. That this file will be, we'll ask that in this one of the step will ask for this key file, and that we'll use. So just remember where it is stored, where it is present. And now we'll work with the very first utility of Informatica, that is the server. So let's open this one, and I'll open this server folder, and within this we have this application install.exe that we'll use now to install the server on my system, on the machine. So just double click on that, and it will take few seconds to start the installation. And after this we'll see the very first option to work with. This file contains all of the screenshots that we'll get within the installation. You can compare and proceed further. This is the install. I want to install, or you want to upgrade. I'll select the first one and next. And this is the requirement, the system requirement, the disk and the RAM and the databases that you need before installing this Informatica. So the 7 GB of the disk should be free on your system, and the 4 GB of the RAM, this is the minimum requirement. It can be more than 4 GB, it can be more than 7 GB of the disk that should be free. And the database that I'll use, these all are the databases with which Informatica could interact, like Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, Sybase, and I'll work within my recorded session. I'll work with it with the Oracle. Okay, and just this is the second step. And next, this is the key. This is what I was saying, the license key. I'll select the one. Oh, wait a minute, let me try. Okay, yeah, this is the same key that I was saying at this location where it is. Here, this is the path, this is the file, this is the key file that I'll use, and within this Informatica I'll browse for that path. It's present within B, then here the first folder and this one. This is the key file, and open. Okay, it should be correct. And next, this is the folder that it will use, the installation directory. You can also change if you want. This is the default one. And next, and here is the pre-installation summary. This is the fourth step, that we are getting total disk, how much it is going to acquire. This is 108 of, this is far better, we have a lot of space. And this is the directory where it will be installed, and this is the new installation of the Informatica, and this is the service name with which it will be available within the services.msc file. Okay, this is the service name that will be used, and I'll go for install. So this is the fifth step. It will take a lot of time to install. And if you look at these files, these all screenshots, this is the key file that I was saying, and key file, and after that the pre-installation summary, and we are here. We are right now at the fifth step. These files are, this file is present within the download code of your account, and let's wait for some time, and then I'll come back with the next steps. More than half of the installation is completed. This is for the server, or if you look at the path that it is using to install with, you can also understand what is which file it's using and what is happening. It will take around 10 to 15 more minutes to install the server. The last few seconds are left for the completion of this step, and after this my control will be passed to the next step, and then we'll start working with some of the nodes and the users, the database. It's still taking some time, let's wait. And we are done with this step. So after completing each and every step, it will show you this configuring the installation. It will take few more seconds. We'll wait for the next step, and here is the next step. After that, it is fifth A of the same step. It's the next part of that. You want to create a domain or you want to join the existing one. I'll go for, I want to create a domain, and the keystroke password, I'll not use these things, and this is the port on which I'll use within the browser that I'll use to open this Informatica server. Okay, so the creating a domain is the next step, and every time I'll just allow the access for that, and this is the step that will decide which type of database I'm going to use. Can you see this? The database type is Oracle, or we have the options to work with 4 different databases, and I'll work with the Oracle and the database user ID and password. This is the step that will link with the existing user of the Oracle database. So how to create the user? Just search for the SQL command line. This is this will come with SQL plus utility, and yeah, in the previous session I explained how to download and install this Oracle 11G Express Edition, and how to connect with the default user of that, and the password that I am using. You'll use your username and password. Generally the username is system, so that's why I'm using, and the password within the installation step, one of the step is to set the password. Or let me write again, connected. Yeah, this is the message that I was with which I can proceed next. So I am able to connect with the user, the system user. Next I'll create a new user which I'll use here, which I'll use to create the domain of the Informatica, with which I'll link my Informatica with the Oracle database. Okay, so these are the commands that we'll follow. Create user, and you can write any name here. These are the queries that I have explained in the module number 9 how to write, and then I'll grant the privileges. And after this, okay, the domain name, grant DBA2, make sure that these both are same. The username, we could provide the privileges only to the existing user, right? So it's info domain, and then I'll commit, I'll save all of the changes, and then I'll try to connect with that. Connect info domain with the password as pass that I'm using, and I'm able to connect with this. Okay, so this is the user that I'll use. It's info domain, and the password I'll write here PASS that I'm using to connect with that user. And the URL host name, what will be the host name? This is the local host that I'm using, and after that the port on which the database is working with. We are working with the Oracle database, and it generally work on the 1521. Or you can also check, you can open the command prompt and write the command to find on which port which of the process is running, and then you can cross check that with the task manager. Okay, and the service name, what is the service name for Oracle database? The thing that I have already explained, XE, because we are using the Express edition. And to find the service name, just go to the services.msc file and search for the Oracle service, and it will come with XE as its connection string name. Okay, so these 4-5 changes only I'll made. I'll use the username, password, the system name, that is a local host, and the port on which the database is working, and the service name that I'll use with. I'll make these changes, and next I'll go for just select this test connection to cross check if there is any mistake or not, or if it is working correctly, the port number and the service name. I'll click once onto this test connection, and it will give us the resultant of that, the connection is established or not. It's saying the database connection information. Okay, something is wrong, we'll check for that. It is saying there is some connection error, so we'll check with the password. Make sure that the password is correct, PASS. I'll just type again, and then again I'll go for this test the connection, and let's see now what message I'll get. Now, how to cross check in which port our Oracle is working, what is the service name? Let me give you some of the hint. First, open the command prompt, so that if you get that error that it's incorrect, the string is incorrect, the connection string or the port, how to check that? Just go for net start -ano, and within this you'll get the list of all of the IP addresses or the local addresses that are being used within that machine, that are being assigned to which port. Can you see this? 1521 is the address, and the port is 19700 that is being used. That now open the task manager and go to the details and just search for that port 19700, and can you wait a minute, this one, this is TNS, and if you read the description, this is linked with the Oracle, right? So 1521 is the port, that's why I was saying this is 1521, and make sure that you are using the correct password with the correct username and the XE as a service name. And now if I go for this test the connection, and the connection is established. Previously I was using the wrong password with caps on. Okay, so that was the reason that I was getting that message. The connection, the connection string for the database that you are using is incorrect. Okay, and I'll click on next, and the keyword. This is the encryption key that I'll use, that is having some of the condition. Like let's say if I write Priya, and if I try with this next, it is saying that there are some rules to set this key, that it must include at least one uppercase, one lowercase, one number, and no spaces should be there. And I just used this Priya simply. That's why I'm not able to pass on to the next level. So how to satisfy this condition? I'll go for capital P RIYA @123. No spaces, with one number at least, one with caps and the rest without caps. And I'll go for next. I'll just select OK, and this is the last step. Okay, not last, the sixth step. If you look at this Word file, we are done with all of these steps. And just to make the comparison, this is one, we are here right at step 6. So what I'll do, just note down these all things: the domain name that you are getting, the node name, and the port number on which it will run. Just take this screenshot and use, and you'll surely need that in the next, while using that or while opening that within the browser, or to configuring it on the different browser. Okay, so the password I'll set PASS. Again, I'm using the same password for all of the passwords that I need. It's PA small 2 times S pass, and then I click on next. It will again take some more time to execute the command, to configure the nodes and the domain. And after this we'll get this step. Let's see, let's wait for some time. It's executing the commands, it will configure the nodes. In the same step only, it is defining the domains. The domain is this one. This is the domain name, and that is coming from the system only. If I open and if I go to this PC, right click and go to properties, you'll get the name of the system. It's cabin PC, and this is what we are getting, right? It's cabin PC. And if it is a domain, that's why we are getting this domain underscore cabin PC. It's a node, it's cabin PC, and the name of the node is node 01 for the cabin PC. Okay, that's how the things are coming. This is directly linked to the system. And make sure that you install only one time on one system or on a single Windows. Like this is the domain name, it will not accept if you try to install it for the second time. If you want to install it again, or because of any reason you need to uninstall that, and after that if you try to install, make sure that you update the Windows, because after configuring a new window on the system, you'll get a new domain name every time. Okay, so these are the things that you must know before making any change within the Informatica. It will take, I think, some more time. And we are at our last second step. So do you want to use any of the specific user? That I'll uncheck this. I don't want, I just want to run it for every users. And next, this is the last second step. It is starting the services that are linked with the services.msc file. If the service that it's not running, if it is not running, we'll not able to see, will not able to view, will not able to execute any of the service within that Informatica server. So make sure that your services are up, and these are the things that are included within the installation part. You may get this error message that it is installed but it's not able to start the service. I'll just click on OK and start again. Next. Okay, so you may need to do the same step 2 to 3 times, or you may not need in the first try only. You'll get the service, you'll start the domain, it depends. Okay, if you get that, just click on OK and try again. And this is the last step that you will get. So after the step, wait a minute, let me show you. This was a step that I was trying with, and I get that error message once, and after that if I try again, I am able to get this successful installation, the messages that we need, and done. This is all how we can install the server. The next is how you can check if it is present or not. Just open the services.msc file and find this Informatica service, the service name that starts with the Informatica. Can you see this? Informatica 9.6.1, and the current status is running. And if it is not running, you can start. Just right click on that and then start. It is already running, that's why I'm getting this status. I'm getting this option to stop the service, right? So this is how we can install. And the next is how can we open this service, how can we view this the service within the browser. So just search for the Informatica, and this is the tab which is showing that this application is installed on my system. It's Informatica Administrator homepage. Just enter, click once, and after this within the default browser, or if you want you can open it within the Chrome or within the Firefox. So here it is saying the site is not secure. I'll go for this, the details, or I'll go to the, no, this is not what I need. Just open the Informatica Administrator homepage again, and this is what we are getting. Copy this and open this within the Chrome. I'll show you how to open that within the IE as well, or actually there are some of the supported versions, like it is supported from which version, right? So this is the same message, the connection is not private, you can't open. And I'll click on this advanced, and can you see this? Proceed to this cabinet with unsafe mode. This is what that will help us to go to that Informatica Administrator homepage, and we are getting the homepage to log in into the server. Okay, so what is the username? If you remember, it's administrator only, and the password that I set is PASS, and login. I think it's within 5th or 6th step that I told you, take the screenshot, and we'll use that for the while connecting with that server. So this is how the server will look like. This is for the this is for the Chrome. In the same way, you can open this within the Firefox, and make sure that you are using the latest version of the Chrome and the Firefox. And I'll see, I don't want, wait a minute. So in the next session we'll start working with the installation of the Informatica client, and we'll see. So this is what we were getting. This is for IE, I think, and this is after selecting that, proceed to that without the, like with the unsafe mode, we'll get that. Okay, so within Firefox, if I open, I'll write the same URL, and here we'll write the same URL. I'll write within the Firefox, and I'll go for advanced tab, and I'll go for so here it is saying that the connection is not secure, the same message. And within the advanced settings, I am getting this is the invalid security certificate, and I want to exception for this particular URL only, and I'll go for get certificate for this one, and I'll click on this confirm the security exception, and we are getting again the same administrator homepage that we need. and the password I'll say don't save, and we are getting the thing that we want. The next, we can create the services, we can create the repository or the integration services. Those things we'll cover within the are covered within, I think, in module number 9th. You can go through. Wait a minute. Within the module number 9th here. Within module number 9, the complete installation is explained, and within module number 10, how to create the services is explained. And then we'll see now how to install the Informatica client and how to link that with the server. Hello friends, welcome back to our website etltestingtutorial.com. Today we are going to start with the next utility of the Informatica, that is the client utility. In the last session I explained how to download and install Informatica server. So now we'll start with the installation of Informatica client, and all 4 modules within Informatica client we'll start working with. Right, so let's see here. This is where we left. The server, if I open the servers, this folder, we'll get the ways to download, ways to install the server, but we have already covered this. So now we'll start with the client folder with the version name 961 that we are getting. Just open this, and within this, if you open this client folder, this is the install.exe file that we need. So if I double click on that, we'll get the steps. Some of the steps are the common between the server and the client, and around 6 to 7 steps are there within the installation of the client, as 8 steps within the server we get. Okay, so the very first step is you want to install or you want to upgrade. I'll select this installation part, and next. And this is the complete requisite, all of the prerequisite for the installation of the Informatica client for the operating system, and the disk space that is needed, that is 5 GB of space is required to install the Informatica client. And then I click on next, and which of the utility you want. You want the developer, you want the client, you want the data transformation studio. I'll select all, because I want to work with the development. I want to work with the all of the transformations that are present within the Informatica client, right? So I'll select all of these, and then I'll click on next, and this will be the installation directory. I'll keep it as it is, and next. And it is saying you want the studio or the standalone copy of the Eclipse, or you want to use the existing Eclipse. I'll select I want it to install within the standalone copy of the Eclipse with the installation of the Informatica client. And then this is the 4th A step. Next, this is the 5th step, that is the part of all of the information related to the installation, or I can say that pre-installation summary. It is showing how much space it is using, how much space it will use, and how much space is available, and at which location it is going to be installed. And then I'll click on install. And these all steps that I cover, if you look at, this is the installation of the client, and if you scroll down, all of the steps we have covered. This is the file that is present within the download code tab of your account, and all of these steps we covered. And right now we are at the step, this one. This is the 6th step. Yeah, so it will take some time. We'll wait, and then I'll come back. So half of the installation is complete around of the Informatica client. We'll wait for 5 to 10 more minutes. This installation step is completed, and after this we'll be on the step number 7. And if you look at this Word file, this was a step that was working with, and this is what we'll get next. It will configure the domains, it will ping that domain, that existing domain, start the services related to that PowerCenter Informatica client, and after that we'll get the detail of the installation, And this is the last step within the installation of PowerCenter Informatica client. It will take few more seconds, I think. And here we are getting the post installation summaries. That is the last step within the installation, and we are done with. Okay, just click on to this done button. So the complete things that we were working with is the Informatica client, and within Informatica client, as I was saying, we'll have the repository manager, the designer, the workflow manager, and the workflow monitor. Let's see how to assess those. So let's search for the repository manager, and this is what we want. It's PowerCenter repository manager. This is the first part within the client that we could work with. And after this repository manager, we'll have the PowerCenter designer. I'll not show you how to connect the server with the manager in this current session, but I'll show you all of these modules, all of these parts of the client that comes under that. And here it is. So the very first one is for the very first icon is for the repository manager. This is the R icon for that. And now if I want to pass my control to the designer, just click once onto that, and after that PowerCenter Informatica designer will open. And after that we'll have the Informatica workflow manager. Just click on to that, the third icon to work with, and the last we have the workflow manager. So that's all for the installation part. And just remember one thing. Once we are done with the installation of the PowerCenter, this Informatica administrator homepage, once we are able to open this homepage, only after that we could work with the utilities of the PowerCenter Informatica client. If our server is not up, if we are not able to see this, so we are not able to see this Informatica server page. Why it is saying that the session is expired? Because I opened this server, I think 3-4 hours back. So you just need to log in, and after that again the same page will open. And the thing, just remember, the server and the client both are linked. And that's all for this